when this person, whether it be spell work or gardening or just living their daily lives with the understanding of the universe and the gods and the spiritual connection, that is a whole another place to be. And I would think it would be difficult for this person. Hi, Phoenix family. So tonight's topic is, can we date? And this question actually comes up a lot. And the can we date is about the dating within various religions. And there is no yes or no to this because it really does come down to you as an individual. Okay. So I remember being young and I met a couple. Well, one was a Baptist and one was Jehovah's Witness. And it was quite interesting for myself at that time because I thought, how weird. How do you combine everything? How do you make things work? And she explained to me at that time that their relationship, they didn't combine anything. He, as an individual, practiced as a Jehovah's Witness. Her, as an individual, practiced as a Southern Baptist. So for them, it worked. That taught me a lot. That was more than 20 years ago when I met them. But throughout the time, that has taught me a lot. In my personal opinion, for all these years and still today, is that you probably shouldn't. But this is my own opinion, and I'll explain that. Um, I feel like, say, we'll use a devout Christian for an example, okay? Because of all the different classes that they go to or studies that they go to, retreats, things with the church, they actually, I know some of these devout Christians that have quite a list of things that they do in their daily lives that is around their church and their religious practice. I would think that somebody that they would connect to on that emotional, physical, uh, level and intellect would be somebody that shares that same passion with them, their religious passion. Because if you are going to church anywhere between 3 to 6 times a week, that takes up a bit of your time. So you'd want to share that with somebody that also would be interested in putting their time into that. And I feel the same way about a practicing pagan. A practicing pagan does not mean spell work. I need to just throw that out there real quick. But a practicing pagan has their own system, their own ideas, their own beliefs. And when this person, whether it be spell work or gardening or just living their daily lives with the understanding of the universe and the gods and the spiritual connection, that is a whole another place to be. And I would think it would be difficult for this person to connect to somebody that is, say, that devout Christian that goes to church and does all this other stuff. Where is the connection at? Now, as I said, I learned a lot. Although that is still my opinion, I have learned by seeing others that for some people it just works. It's not about the religion itself as much as it is the connection between two people. They found common ground somewhere. They found a love for one another's personality that when they sit down and to discuss things, that everything just works. It just connects and it just becomes one. And that's beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. If you are in that type of relationship, if you have that kind of love and understanding with your partner, it doesn't matter what your religion is. It doesn't matter what their religion is. go for it, 100%. I acknowledge that it's possible, and I think it should happen. Like, make it yours. Um, the ones that put a bad taste in my mouth is the conflict. And that is why I personally choose my partner to be pagan, because that's where my heart is, and that's where my devotion is, and that's where my understanding is. So my partner has to be pagan. And the what I mean by the conflict is, first of all, I don't believe in combining Christianity and paganism at all. It's not right. It's not fair. There's nothing good about that at all. That doesn't mean that I don't have Christian family and friends. Absolutely. Absolutely. They are invited to my house. I'm invited to theirs. We have a great time together. We hang out. My children, I have family members that are Christian. That's great. That's that's what you want. We can sit down and have a meal together. We can watch movies together. Life is life. Let's live it. Let's just love each other as human beings. The partnership, though, the spouse partnership, that is a much closer partnership, a much higher spiritual connection. So I would want my partner to be on the same spiritual experience that I'm in. Okay, many times, and I have seen this with both men and women. I mean, it's not even a gender thing, it's a people thing. The conflict comes in when this religion and this religion, the two people, they fall in love, and this one begins to tell this one bad things about the religion. Well, if you don't let me save you, you're going to hell. Or if you continue to go to church, this is going to happen to you. And then the compatibility that brought them together is non-existent. They're just together because it's two warm bodies and somebody to hold on to. The true respect comes in remembering that it is two separate religions and to be practiced as such, and that not to hate on one another because how you personally feel in your heart. And that is difficult for a lot of people. It really, truly is. People in general that have gone through this, some see the conflict, and some see it and they don't know how to deal with it. Like, they come into these groups and they're like, well, such and such happened, such and such said this, and what do I do? And then you have to try to tell them as heartfelt as you can that this conflict is a form of abuse, because they knew you believed in this. You guys got together and now you're being battered for it. Like, this has got to stop. I see that a lot, unfortunately. And when I do see that, it puts a bad taste in my mouth about people from two different religions dating. Again, though, back at the beginning, I said I met a Jehovah's Witness and a Baptist, and they are both Christian, but entirely different sides of the spectrum, and for them it works. I have met those that are Catholic. One was Catholic and one was Muslim. That was very interesting. And the part that was interesting for me is because I understand the religious aspect of it. What was beautiful is how loving they were to each other. They didn't bash one another. They weren't hating on one another. They were very family oriented, very loving, and very passionate towards one another as a couple. And that's freaking astounding. If you have that, freaking go for it. It's amazing. Um, but the conflict is the problem, and maybe it's not about the conflict of religion as much as it's the person. Maybe it's not so much about dating a Christian, but maybe that's the wrong Christian. Maybe it's not about dating a pagan, but that's the wrong pagan. You know what I'm saying? So kind of think about things like that when you meet with somebody, or when you get together with somebody, or you're together for a while. Now the next part of this is the conversion. It is not uncommon for two people to come together, find love, and one of them converts to the other religion. This could be because their stance changed. The understanding of, well, okay, this makes sense to me. Maybe that's why they were even drawn together to begin with, is because there was something here that this person needed, and then when they met and they conversed, they found that peace, and they found it easier to convert and be that person, and then that religion is together. And that's okay too. That is not unheard of. That is actually very common. The piece of that gives me a bad taste is the conversion under duress. Okay? Because when you meet somebody and what they have to offer, what they have to talk about, and if it sounds good, if it feels like home, if it makes you feel excited, if it pulls you in, then yeah, I support the decision to do that. But if it becomes something that's bothering you or abusing you or taking away your rights, well, you were this religion and you did all this before, but now you're in this religion and you can't go and visit your mom once a week like you used to do. You can't have your friends come over like you used to do. You can't dress in pants because in this religion we only wear skirts. Um, if you feel 100% about where you're going is where you're supposed to be, then nobody should stop you. But if there is something inside of you that says, you feel like you're being stripped or you're being taken away from your true self because of religion differences, then that's the relationship you need to walk away from. No matter how long you've been with somebody or how short of a time you've been with somebody, if you absolutely 100% do not feel like that's the place to be, that you can no longer put the emotion into it, the emotional and physical connection, then it's okay to walk away from that and find somebody else. Um, Relationships in general can be very difficult with different obstacles, but the religious aspect itself, you got to find for you. Okay, this isn't so much about pagan, Christian, Muslim, as much as it is about Jennifer, Mike, John, Ricky, Matt, finding themselves, and then finding somebody that wants to share themselves together. Okay, so Matt and Natalie, Matt's this person, Natalie is this person, and they didn't just find love, but they found that connection, something they wanted to share about themselves with this outside person and bring them together. That's what a relationship in general is. And yes, religion does play a big part in it because religion is faith. Religion is what you believe in. Religion is what people will die for. People will kill over religion. So when you go into a relationship, it's important to understand how important that religion is to that individual. If this person is kind of carefree about religion, whatever, okay, maybe it won't matter as much. But if this person over here is like, this is this and that, well, then you know that they are dead set on religion. So, do you share your life with them or not? You just have to find the one that you can connect to peacefully, find compassion, and find love. And all the other obstacles, you work through as people. Religion should not be a reason not to be separated, not to date, but it is a factor to overcome. That's something to think about. That's the best way I can word it. It is a factor to overcome. Okay? So I think that'll cover it. If you guys have any questions, please comment below. Please like the video, share it all over, and please subscribe. I love y'all. Thank you so much. Mwah. Good night.